Xinhua Live. We are now at the National Convention and Exhibition Center in Shanghai. This is where the first China International Import Expo is being held. It is the first national expo in China and is seen as a landmark event. Among the many highlights of this massive trade fair is the China Pavilion. Curious but cannot come? Well, we have your tickets. Here we are in the China Pavilion. It covers an area of around 1,500 square meters and consists of 8 parts. And the most eye-catching is, perhaps, this part, which focuses on China's innovation and latest technology. This is a model of Fuxing, a high-speed train designed and built by China. Fuxing means rejuvenation in Chinese. It runs at a speed of 350 kilometers per hour. A standard Fuxing train has 8 cars. It is 209 meters long and about 3.3 meters wide. The train can carry over 500 passengers. The first Fuxing train rolled off the production line in 2015, and it was put into use in 2016. In July 2018, an extra long Fuxing train started operating. It is 415 meters long with 16 cars. The new type of train first runs on the high-speed rail line between Beijing and Shanghai. What you see now is the ARJ-21, China's first homegrown regional jet. This is a twin-engine plane manufactured by the Chinese aerospace company Comac. The development of this plane began in 2002, and it made its maiden flight in November 2008. In late 2015, the plane was put into commercial service. This is China's homemade big passenger jet, the C919. In 2007, China started working on it. In May 2017, the C919 successfully completed its maiden flight. The plane has 168 seats. With the C919, China becomes one among the few nations that have developed large homegrown airlines, such as the US, Russia, Brazil, Canada, the UK, France, and Germany. China is one of the world's biggest and fastest growing air travel markets. Whether it is the C919 or the ARJ-21, they are part of efforts by China to develop a homegrown aviation industry. So this is the simulator of Fuxing train. I have never thought that someday I can drive a train. And you can look at the panel. Here are many switches and buttons and many gadgets here. And I think it's a little bit complicated, but they have told me how to work this. So press this button. And you can see, here we go. We are starting from the Beijing South Railway Station. I have to press the button
不用太用劲，没事，就是保持这个位置就行。
怎样加速呢？
现在就在加速，您看上面速度就是最高的，这是当前的运行速度。
哦 ，OK。
待一会儿，大概10秒钟左右。
You see, after 10 seconds, the speed is just... Okay, here is the highest speed of the pushing bullet train. It runs at the speed of 350 kilometers per hour. 我们这个终点是到哪里呢？上海虹桥。And our destination of the train is Shanghai Hongqiao Railway Station. Now we have arrived at Nanjing South Railway Station. 模拟了实景北京南到上海虹桥京沪线，你所看到的景色都是实际中有的，不过把它缩小了。然后您现在即将到达的是上海虹桥站，因为那个 ATP 系统给它减速的信息，所以您看到速度是在缓慢的降低，虽然在牵引位，但是缓慢的降低。您可以适当的往后拉一点，往后，对，搬过中间位，再搬一下，对，对，您看速度是在降低，这就到站了。 Now we have arrived at our final destination, the Shanghai Hongqiao Railway Station. So this is the Sunway Taihu Light China supercomputer. Earlier this year, it was ranked second in the top 500 list of the fastest supercomputers in the world. In 2016, China spent as much as 1.5 trillion yuan or 230 billion US dollars on research and development. According to the US National Science Foundation, China is, quote, decisively the second largest R&D spending nation. For those who have just joined us, this is Xinhua Live. We're taking you around the China Pavilion at the National Convention and Exhibition Center in Shanghai. This is where the first China International Import Expo is being held. We have just looked at some of China's most advanced technologies and products. Now we will take a look at some of the country's mega development projects and its new approach to growth. This is a model of the world's longest sea crossing bridge. It is 55 kilometers long or 34 miles. The bridge connects Hong Kong and Macau to Zhuhai, a city on the Chinese mainland. It cuts travel time between the three cities from several hours to about 30 minutes. Costing about 20 billion US dollars, the bridge was built to withstand a magnitude 8 earthquake, a super typhoon and supersized cargo vessel collisions. The bridge is a key element of China's plan for a Greater Bay Area. The area covers 56,500 square kilometers across southern China. It encompasses 11 cities, including Hong Kong and Macau, that are home to a combined 68 million people. For those who have just joined us, this is Xinhua Live. We are taking you around the China Pavilion at the National Convention and Exhibition Center in Shanghai. This is where the first China International Import Expo is being held. representative of the company. Hi, welcome to our live report.
Yeah, now in front of us is a TI robot surgery robot. It's a product developed by our company and the top universities, hospitals, and scientists in China. After 3 iterations of products, we have launched this internationally leading surgical robot. And our robot can use in more than 40 types of orthopedic surgery to help doctors compete efficiently, accurately, and safely. The most critical steps in the operation can also bring better and less minimally invasive surgery results to the majority of patients, reduce the risk of surgery, reduce the time and the duration of surgery, and from the end of 2016 to the present 600 days. TI robot is already at 40 hospitals and has benefited more than 4,000 patients.
Here we come to another experience zone here, and this technology is from iFly Tech, and we will try the AI translator here. 欢迎来到首届中国国际净土博览会。In case you are just joining us, we're doing a live report at the China Pavilion set up for the first China International Import Expo. If you are interested in our channel, please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. China is not only undertaking mega development projects, it's also changing its approach to growth. This in Jian County, it's China's Zhejiang province, that the Chinese president first said, lucid waters and large mountains are invaluable assets. This is a vivid description of China's new development philosophy. That is, sustainable development without compromising the environment. Already achieved impressive economic growth, but this is not the end of the story. With the Belt and Road Initiative, the country invites other countries and regions to board its fast-moving train of development. And if you are just joining us, we're going live at the China Pavilion in the National Convention and Exhibition Center in Shanghai. The China International Import Expo, the country's first national import expo, is being held right here. We will take you to get a closer look at the Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative was proposed by China in 2013. The Belt is the Silk Road economic belt, consisting of overland interconnecting infrastructure and economic corridors, while the road refers to the 21st century maritime Silk Road, comprising of sea corridors. The initiative is building trade and infrastructure networks connecting Asia with Europe and Africa. More than 1,000 companies from 58 countries along the Belt and Road are attending this import expo. Their combined booth area is 45,000 square meters. And here we can get a brief look at the China-Europe freight trains. The direct freight rail service between China and Europe comes as the key component of the Belt and Road Initiative. The new service offers a new option to shippers. In the past, there were only two choices. One, take an ocean-bound route, which was cheap but slow. Two, use an air carrier that is faster but much more expensive. A direct rail link between China and Europe enables manufacturers to explore new means to lower transport costs. Now 48 Chinese cities have direct rail links to 42 cities in Europe. And by August of this year, as many as 10,000 train ships has been made since the service was launched in 2011. In case you are just joining us, we are doing a live report at the China Pavilion set up for the first China International Import Expo. The huge trade fair is underway in Shanghai. What the pavilion shows is quite impressive. With 40 years of reform and opening up, China has grown into the world's second largest economy, and the world's most populous country is making a tremendous contribution to global poverty reduction. China has lifted hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. According to the World Bank, back in 1981, 88% of the Chinese were living on $1.9 per day. But in 2012, the figure dropped to 6.5%. Since the start of China's reform and opening up policy 40 years ago, over 700 million people have escaped poverty. The China Pavilion is meant to offer visitors a window on what China has achieved over the past 4 decades and where the country is heading. As the Import Expo is being held, China has promised to open further and called for inclusive growth for all. That is the end of our coverage. If you are interested in our channel, please follow New China in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. See you next time.
这已成为美丽中国的一个缩影。